If I could get an answer for both of you on this, because obviously you've come out with a big win last night. What do you want to do? What do you need to do to go home up to nothing?
Yeah, I don't know. I think, we talked about a few things today that we needed to do better. Just things that we needed to clean up. Their strengths of their game are, I think we're still evident last night that we need to make sure that we, like I said, shore up for tomorrow to give us a better chance. I thought overall our game throughout the game was a good game. I thought we got better as the game went on. I thought our forecheck got going and we played the way we wanted to play. But, they're going to be desperate in terms of, getting a win on home ice for themselves. So we're going to have to, like I said today, go over what we did, what we saw, and what their game plan is, and hopefully get better at kind of neutralizing that.
Sorry. No, go ahead, Manson.
Sorry.
Oh no.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's just tightening up some things, trying to limit their pushes because they're a good team, and when they get rolling, they can create some momentum for themselves. So I think early on, like Cog said, we weren't playing exactly how we wanted to. So I think tightening that up for the full game, limiting their pushes, because they're going to have pushes. I don't think you can stifle that team for a full 60 minutes, but limiting their chances as best we can off of our own mistakes.
Or, two things for Josh. One, first thing, just what did you sort of see on the play when you swept it off the goal line? And then just how different do you feel today than you did the morning after game one?
Personally, or as a team?
Yeah, personally.
Personally, yeah, I feel way better. I mean, obviously, after the first game I went to Winnipeg, it was tough. It was pretty down. So feel better now. Just team winning too, right? Makes things easier. But on the play, once I saw him kind of get underneath, I figured he was going to try and take it wide, and the only place that maybe he was going to be able to beat him was to slide it back across. So I just kind of came to the goal line just in case, and I watched the video. I think it was going to miss the net anyway. If anything, maybe hit the post. So I was there just in case, and got lucky I didn't hit it in the net, hit it the other direction.
Jesse.
For either one of you guys, obviously it's an overtime goal, so there's going to be a big reaction either way. But for Miles to score that goal, just what kind of boost is that to the group to see a guy like that get rewarded in that moment?
Yeah, it was huge. I think it was kind of near the end of a shift, so everyone was kind of tired on the ice, and for him to just explode up the ice like that just speaks to his strength and his speed and his ability to Miro's a pretty one of the best skaters in the league. So Miles, that was an impressive goal, but no, it was just huge. Those goals. That's why we play. That's the best part about playoffs. Having the emotion of a guy just taking taking the team basically to a win by just making a good individual effort. So it was huge. It was fun.
For either or both of you, chemistry is something that you can't teach. You guys can learn the systems, but with the resilience that you showed from that comeback last night, I mean, how's that? What is the importance of that chemistry on the team to be able to do that and show that? And how do you build that?
Well, I think you go through struggles together, ups and downs, and that's kind of when you can solidify a group, right? And we felt like during the season after the trade deadline, and we had that group of guys that we were playing good hockey, and we were winning games. We knew the kind of structure and stuff that we could play with, and then we kind of went through a little dip where it was a lull, and you go through those times, and you solidify in a different way. Maybe you start to figure out exactly what we need to do, and then you go through the Winnipeg series and you find your game again, and you have fun, scoring goals, winning games, winning series. And it just kind of builds that chemistry. I think, like you said, you can't really fake it. It's something that I think that as you go through ups and downs, you just kind of innately create it.
Megan.
Andrew, there's been a theme of a lack of panic in this team in difficult moments, and in the face of another 3-goal deficit, you overcame that in the regular season. Can you tell me how that component of not panicking in those moments has evolved throughout the course of the season?
Yeah, no, I think it seems like we have a team right now. It just seems like any situation we're not really too phased by it in terms of if we're up goals, if we're down goals. It seems like the room right now is very, very connected in terms of our belief, in terms of, coming back in games, holding leads if we need to. It just seems like we have a lot of confidence in ourselves. We have a lot of confidence in our system, Beds and our structure and our game plan that, he puts forward every game. I think a lot of guys believe and have full confidence in it. So, it helps. We have some of the, best players in the world on our team, that just call for what it is, guys like Nate and Kale and Miko, and, these guys are game changers. So, when there's opportunities for them to take over a game or get us back into a game, they could do that, and then it kind of propels the rest of the team, and it pushes us to, want to get to their level and push ourselves to, make things happen and be a difference. So, but we've been there. I think we're confident in ourselves. We have a lot of belief, and we're a veteran team. So I think when you have that, I think all that falls into place.
Evan?
You guys have played high-scoring games, and last night was pretty low. There weren't a lot of shots on goal. So Jared was saying you have to adjust to whatever the game requires. So do you guys feel comfortable playing any type of game, whether it's high-scoring, low-scoring, as a team at this point?
Yeah, I think so. I think our focus doesn't change, right? Like, we're still, whether it's high scoring or low scoring, we're still trying to put an emphasis on defending. Just some nights, that's going to happen, but we trust in our offense enough to stick in any game and kind of feel out, like you said, the way the game is flowing, kind of what the game demands of us. We trust in the guys that we have. Like Cog said, we have guys that can create that momentum for us kind of at any point and then ride that wave. So,
Corey? Josh, you played a lot of minutes in Anaheim. You had some productive seasons earlier on with Anaheim. I just wondered, this is your most productive season in several years. Part of that's health, but you also play with Sam, who's a very offensive-minded guy. So just what's different maybe here than before or last year or 2 years ago that just kind of allowed you to do more stuff offensively?
I think I'm kind of a byproduct of a team for myself. I'm not a guy that goes out there and is creating offense by himself. My game will thrive a bit more as the team finds success. That's kind of how I like to look at myself. And obviously with the team that we have here, having a good season, everybody kind of producing, I think I'm just a byproduct of that. Didn't really change too much, just, teams doing good things, and sometimes you're making, I've said this before, but sometimes you make a breakout pass to Nate, and Nate goes all the way down and scores. You get an assist. You know what I mean? What did you really do different? Nothing. Nate scored. And when he's putting up 140 points, you find 10 of those. For me, I'm not putting up that many points a year. 10 points is a big difference. So, I think like I said, I'm a byproduct of whatever the team success is having.
Are you dancing guys at the point more now than you were earlier in your career? You do get the puck at the right point, and deep guys or dance guys, whatever you want to call it, and get kind of into the middle of the ice. It seems like you do that a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I do that a lot or not. It's just, I think it's dependent on the game. And like I said, even in situations like that, so much of it is created from guys like Cogs controlling the cycle, forcing wingers to come down and beating them with that pass, right? It's not just rolling around, getting a pass, giving it to me while a guy's coming straight at me, and then all you have is, pump it back down the wall or to the side. Our wingers or forwards are giving us time at the point to make plays and to have that confidence to do things because, they're making plays on their end.
Last one, Jesse.
So I'm going to piggyback off that a little bit. Is it maybe, because I just listened to you talk about, everything you're saying, is that speak to the fact that maybe this team plays to players' identities and strengths maybe better than any other team in the league? Because it's not just you, guys like Jack Johnson, Jared was just telling us, Andrew picks up a primary assist on that goal last night. Does the team, like I said, maybe play to individual players' strengths, as a collective better than anybody?
Yes, I think so. I think what happens is our organization does a good job of identifying players' strengths and bringing them into a team knowing the identity that we want to play with. and finding players that fit that identity. And then once, they come into the team, you figure out how to play in the system. Beds lays it out extremely, extremely well, to make guys understand what they need to do. And then once you fall into that groove and you kind of find your rhythm a bit, guys' games can just kind of flourish. And then it also, you have guys that practice like Nate, Kale, those guys that are driving the pace, forces your mind, forces your body to practice at a different pace. You come into the game and I think it just feels easier. So I think there's a culmination of a lot of things that are happening in the organization that are setting up players to, play their best games of their style of game.
Great, thank you, gentlemen, appreciate it.
Hey, guys, yep, no problem.
Yep.